Hi guys, it's Candace. Welcome back. Hope y'all having a good day. I need to get working and finishing my little Fat Faith Tennessee notebooks. So, I'm bad. TN. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Alright, so I have my little group of things that we're going to be using. So let me just move them all aside. And then we will get working. We're going to make 2 journal cards and a tag today. As I throw stuff on the floor again. Sorry. Bear with me. Alright. So my paper that I'm going to use is My Porch Prints. And it's the Faith Digital Kit, and it's noted as postcards. If you can tell, there's some angles missing from here. That was my corner tucks that we had that I think is, oh, right here. That's right here. So this is where that came from on her digital kit, was from that page. So now we're going to put pockets in, tags in these vellum pockets that are on hem paper. So let me take off this big old clip and just put a paper clip on the back one so I know where I'm going to go next. Alright, sorry, got to get a little with the program. So we're just going to tear these off with my ruler. And yes, I have a metal ruler that I do a lot of tearing with, but it has this foam on the bottom, and sometimes it just slips and slides, and I don't get it a good enough tear. I've got to find me just a plain metal one like I have for my metal tear ruler, but I found this at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, you think I go there a little bit. So, but it's, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, it's flat, and then it has a ridge in the middle, but that way you can lay it down and get enough pressure on it that it's not gonna give you much wiggle. So let's go ahead and tear this off. And we're gonna put this aside because I'm gonna do something else with that. And then we'll tear these sides down. Because I want a little rough edges, not quite too smooth, but just a little bit. That's going to stand out on our index card. And I'm just going to use 3x5 lined, ruled index cards. And I didn't coffee dye these. Oopsie. Got a little wiggle room because this hand doesn't hold things flat sometimes. So I got to pay attention to make sure that I put a little extra pressure on it when I do it. But I didn't coffee dye these index cards because I wanted to have a little bit of white on there, because these are actually gray striped. And so I just thought it would be just a little bit different, because I have a couple other things that I'm doing that I did put on coffee dye index cards. So, table's a little bit dirty. Let me get the ink up, and we'll just go ahead and ink around these digitals, just because I know there's going to be just a little bit showing around the edge of the card, and so I want to make sure that I have the sides distressed so you don't see all the white that's on there. Alright, so we got that done, and now here is the index cards. Oops. Sure I'm here. And so let's go ahead and we're going to ink both sides of them. And I know Gail always talks about doing the Corey Dahman way, where she puts a piece of other paper behind there, but usually I'm doing 2 of the same thing sometimes, or up to 4 or 5 depending on what I'm going to do to put into the Etsy shop. And I just always hold them back to back and then just flip them around. And but it does work, especially when you have the thinner paper, the the fragile book paper, or what does Gail call it? Fragile. So, and I'm a heavy inker, and apparently a loud inker. When I watched my little videos back, my inking's kind of loud. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not a quiet kind of person, so why would my crafting be any different? Okay, so let's finish inking around that. And then we are going to glue these onto here, and see when we put them on, they're going to have just a faint part of the index card showing, which that's what I wanted. So, okay, I have a story for you. We have this horse. Actually, we're like the Wayward Farm of misfit animals, or like the little Santa Claus misfit toy island. We live on a very dead-end road in the country, and people tend to drop their animals off. I'm not asking for any more of anybody that's around here. We're at our maximum. Well, we have this horse that we inherited from our neighbor next door that was only supposed to be visiting our pasture and our front barn area for a couple months until they got their fence up. Well, 2 years later, no fence, and the horse used to escape every October, and she would go up on the very top of our hill. We have 26.5 acres on this property, so she would go up on the very, very top back of our hill, and I don't know how she got out, other than she had to jump the fence. I've always said we needed to put little sports cameras up there, because I would love to see how she got out. So she would go down the road, literally go down another property, down their little dirt road, and go onto a blacktop road, and walk down the back blacktop road about another mile to this other horse that I don't know how she knew he was there, but she knew he was there. And thank God that horse had been fixed, because she's never been. And so that's where she would go. So the animal control posted her on the animal control Facebook thing, and our neighbor, she always checks it out. So she's like, oh, I think that's our horse. So they go get it. They bring the poor horse back. I swear there's an end to the story, but I'm just going to tell you all about Miss Tootsie. So they bring her down here, and she doesn't fit in they don't have a trailer. So they bring her in this little cattle trailer, which she's a regular sized tall horse. And if you go look on my Instagram at Journal Me Crazy, you'll see a picture of her just after the doctor was finished giving her quite a bit of sedatives, because she's a different horse. Even the vet said she's different. She's very affectionate. She's not hostile, but she's just weird. And that's all I can tell you. She's just a strange horse. So I'll come back to that. Now, what I'm going to do, I want to do a little die cut on here, and then put a postage stamp on here. So I'm going to show you my got out of hand stamp book collection. Yeah, I don't do anything little. I always got to do things big. So I'm going to put on here, since she's got some kind of tealy burgundy stuff, I have this, I guess she's some queen, England, Canada, don't know, I'm sorry, I apologize. And while I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and grab this other one, because we're going to be needing her in a minute also. So let me just pull her out so we can have her out. So we're going to attach her with some gauze. I have some dyed bandage gauze that my husband had to use before with his feeding tube and stuff. So we have tons of it. I just use it, and coffee dye is wonderful. So if you're ever at the Walgreens or know anybody who has such medical supplies, go ahead and get some. And like I said, it dyes wonderful. It's beautiful. So let's ink around our stamp. And we're going to use our Fabri-Tac and put our little gauze down. I was going to use cheesecloth, but I truly do have abundance of this stuff, and I might start putting a sheet of it in with the thank you gifts when I do, because I think next month's going to have like just some extra little things in there of things that you can create with, and I think I might have to put some of that in there just because we really have more than any person should have of that. Alright, so let's just glue our little postage stamp and stick her on there. And then we're going to die cut this little cross that I have, because yes, it has a cross on here, but I was just like, it needs a little more. So what I'm using is the inside of a Christmas envelope that I got. This is some other part of it, and I'll show you that yes, it was. I've been holding on to it because I love it. It's like almost a linen gold. So we're going to do our little cross on here. And yes, this is some of my Dollar Tree tape that I've had on here. And I promise you this tape has been on this little cross maybe a year. And I don't know how it still sticks and does its stuff and still holds the dies good, but it really does. And I bought, I spent money and bought low-tack tape. Well, the low-tack tape really isn't low-tack. It will still tear your paper up. So I love the Dollar Tree tape for die cutting. And then this is just a small baby blue by Tatterlace. I got it online, like I said, 5 years ago. But I think they have like little sapphires, or just a small desktop one. Has little suction cups you heard on the bottom. But I keep that right here where I craft, because I use that a lot for just small little things. And then I have a big electric one, and then I have a medium one, and then I have a big hand cranky, but it used to give me tennis elbow, and so I told Santa Claus I needed an electric cutter, which I love it. Okay, so here's our little cross. I'm just going to put a little ink around it. I know it probably doesn't do anything to the cross, but it makes my mind feel better thinking that I inked it. So we're just going to ink around, and then we're going to glue it on top of this other cross just to give it a little more dimension. Because like I said, I got to have layers and layers and layers. So we're going to glue him on there. So see, a little bit more, gives it a little more detail. Alright, now I have this stamp, which is a Inky Dinky Doo stamp. I'm guessing it was from 2013 because that's the plastic sticker that's on there, but I got it at, it's got a number E on there with the blue dot, which usually means Joann's. But this is the up close one of it. It's really pretty. I like using it on a lot of things. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little more postmark on top of it. And I'm using the Memento Rich Cocoa. Woo! Knocking everything over. And if you wonder why my ink pad rocks, it's because a lot of them I went and put, the little Velcro thing. I have them on the bottom of there, so when I do use my dauber, they're there. Obviously, I've never used that. I just prepared myself just in case. So we're going to stick him on here and just push it down. Hold it for a minute. Oops, I need to work myself up a little bit. Alright, and then we have that little postmark on there. And then at first, I thought, oh, that's pretty. I'm okay with that. Nope. I told y'all I have a problem with sequins, and these are how I store my little sequins. You get these at the Dollar Tree. I tell you, we live in the woods. I call Walmart the mall. Thank God we have one. That's the only reason why I moved here. I told my husband because Walmart was 5 miles away that I agreed to it because it has pretty much everything. Otherwise, we have to drive 45 minutes to an hour. So I just glued what's on here, and you can peel them off down the road if you need to. And I just stick all my little sequins in here and stack them up in a bin. And let's see if we can find, now that I've shook them all up, I did have all my little ones in the bottom. I wasn't smart. So we're just going to pull 3 of them out. Hey, got 3. And then we're going to glue them on here. So let's stick one over here, one down here, and one up here. And that's where these jeweler pliers come in handy too. So you can grab your little sequins also and get them on there instead of fighting with those. I don't know if you ladies have problems or you guys. I shouldn't. Everybody's a guy. So I hope, you know, I'm sure you guys fight with them, sticking to your fingers, flipping upside down, everything that a sequin does. So that's our little card that we have here. So I'm going to set aside, let it dry. And then the next one we're going to do is, which miraculously I've lost, Holy Toledo. Alright, not funny. This is sad. Anybody see it? Anybody help me? Scream at me. Holler. Tell me where the heck it went to. Oh my gosh. Ah! Okay. Well, I guess we'll just have to use one that I did a minute ago. So, oh, maybe I did glue them all. Okay, I'm bad. I did. Oh, see? I was telling you the story about the horse, got sidetracked because I can't talk, think, and craft at the same time because it's just too much for my brain. But here it goes. It was right here. Right here. Yep. Right there. So, now we're going to change this because, you know, of course, I got to give a little more oomph. Oh, I put the wrong thing. Alright, so this is just some brown paper that I've torn down, and we're just going to ink around it. I can't believe I lost that crazy card. Oh my gosh. Put that away. Alright, so let's glue him on here. Cover up the postage stamp that's already on there, but I didn't like it. I wanted something else. I wanted a little more dimension. So I went ahead and pulled this one out of my stamp notebook that I use the either baseball card pockets or these other ones that they sell. They're, I think, 3x3s, and there's 9 per sheet. And so that works great for sticking them in there so you can get them out. So we're going to ink around here. So anyway, the horse, she got sick. She has obviously a little defective part in her hoof. She always gets gimp every year, gets an abscess in it from walking up and down our hills. And we can't ever seem, it usually takes 2 weeks for it to work its way out because she can't walk on it. She hobbles around. Well, this time it almost was 3 weeks. So I was beginning to think, oh gosh, you know, what are we going to do with this horse? Because she's definitely injured. And so I had called around looking for a vet that would come to our house because I couldn't put her in a trailer, which we don't have one, but I could borrow one. But then I couldn't back up at our regular vet because they don't have a around thing. I can't back up. And so anyway, he came. He tried to get her. They tried to get her. They couldn't get her. Our neighbors were working on flattening some land for a barn that they're putting in for their cars, not for this horse, but for their cars. And she doesn't like loud noises. Even when the postman comes tearing down our road, she freaks out and starts and jumping up and down. she has issues. So we're going to use the stamp from Bo Bunny, my little postage. I got the registered and the small little stamp on it. So they come and they can't get her. She won't come. They're trying to chase her around in the smaller section that we had closed off. She wants no part of it. She doesn't trust them. She knows something's up. And so they finally, after an hour, they did not give up. After about an hour, they finally were able to corner in the very corner. How Tootsie didn't kick them is a miracle, because she is one of those things. That's why she's called spirited. And as long as I'm not near, she tends to kind of be a little bit better for people than if I'm near her. So they got her. They finally got her harness on her, because we don't keep their harnesses on them. I treat them like extra, 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 extra large dogs, which is my bad. I don't know what to do with them other than feed them, water them, brush them, pet them, tell them they're pretty. So they finally get her on there. They have to give her a shot. So, like I said, if you look on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of Tootsie drunk. She can't hold her head up. She looks like she's had a little bit too much tequila. And I swear I thought the horse was going to fall down. I think he might have gave her a little too much, but she asked for it. So they were able to clean her foot out, do her little, bad abscess, and they cleaned it out, gave her all these shots, and then I had to stand there for 1 hour. 1 hour holding this horse with her little cotton lead that luckily I had. We're going to put these sequins on here from this little mix that I got from Tuesday morning. It's got like a little blue iridescent, some peach, and then, oops, some clear iridescent, but that one's white. I don't like that one. I'm going to use my regular one. So then I have to stand there for 1 hour, because she can't eat anything or drink anything for 1 hour until the drugs kind of wear off to where she can put her head up at least shoulder level, because it was kind of funny, but it was a little sad, because I mean, I was waiting for her to fall on the ground. So I stand there. My husband comes home. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I got to stand here for another 45 minutes because the horse can't go anywhere, because she can't eat or drink any water until these drugs wear off." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So, and I'm trying to pull her. I'm like, "Come on, Tootsie, come on, let's go." I'm trying to get her to walk. I mean, just a little bit, because I'm in the sun all this time. And I'm fair-skinned, as you can tell. Fair skin and freckles. And luckily, within 30 minutes, the sun had kind of gave me a little bit of shade with the fruit tree we have. But that horse would not budge until probably 45 minutes into her pain medicine. Then she literally would walk 2 inches. I'm pulling and pulling and tugging. She's not moving. So finally she started moving. Okay, whoops. And here's this little card. I'm going to go put it over here to dry. Hopefully I don't lose it. I might very well lose it in a second. Apparently that's what I do. And then we're going to make this little journal card. This can go into another pocket. And the journal card is from My Porch Prints. And it's the Faith Ephemera. And she's got listed as cards and tags. And we're going to use this one here. And then I put it on 65-pound paper. And the back part is some Jane B designs. And it's Mystery Pack 6. As if you can't tell. I love that woman's stuff. Oh, and here's my list. I forgot to share in the beginning with My Porch Prints on Etsy, Jane B Designs on Etsy, the Inky Dinky Doo stamp, Bo Bunny postal stamp, and then just some basic stuff that we're using. So, alright. So now we're just going to cut this one out. This one, you know, doesn't have a lot of toots and whistles to it because I was just trying to do a simple little tag to go inside a pocket, because like I said, my traveler's notebook has turned into a mini little, gonna be a fatty by the time I'm done with it, because I keep putting all this stuff in there. But, oh, that's just, I don't know how to do any smaller or skinny. You know, you say like, oh no, we're just going to put it in here, and they call them what? Naked journals. So people can do what they want with it. Nope, can't do it because it's just too naked. And I'm like, no, somebody wants to have a little bit of this. And oh, well, if we're doing this, let's put a little bit of that in there. Well, then this and that turns into, oh, little fatty girl. So, but they're all pretty when they're done. So let's ink around the edge. And then we're just going to put a little bit of golden gel pen on it and put a little tie on top and a reinforced hole. So finally, after exactly 1 hour, the horse decides she's going to move now. So she walks. But we walk literally 1/2, not even a half, quarter step at a time. 12 inches. So I'm pulling the lead rope saying, come on, Tootsie, come on. Well, our other horse, who's a rescue, who does not trust people still. She was abandoned in a pasture for 2 years before some friends of ours rescued her. And I thought maybe if Tootsie had a friend, she wouldn't escape every year. So that's how we ended up with this other horse. So she's all worried, thinking we've done something to her friend, even though, trust me, it's a two-woman love-hate situation. Tootsie's the boss. Minnie just puts up with her stuff. I mean, when Tootsie wants to go up top on the property, she will literally bite Minnie's butt and just corral her up there. And you know, Minnie doesn't have much say. Whatever Tootsie wants, that's where they're going. So it's kind of comical. But I guess over the past year, Minnie has gotten a little bit more standing her own ground. Like, nope, I don't want to go. I'll stay here. And Tootsie will try, and then Minnie will kick her a little bit. And I'm like, you go, girl. You tell her you don't want to go up there. But, so we finally got her in the pasture. And, of course, that's all she did. She wanted to eat and drink and eat and drink. Because then I'm guessing she had the munchies. So, she finally did. And 2 hours after that doctor cleaned her foot out, put the needle in there, shot all that junk in her little foot, she's out there walking normal again. Because, I mean, the horse literally could not walk but on three legs, hobbling and jumping and bobbing. And I felt so bad because I just thought, oh my God, we're going to have to put her down. And I didn't, you know, can't do that. I mean, I would let the people put her down that we got it from, because they had to get rid of her because of her attitude. But she does well with herself and with one other one. So then again, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of the ribbon so they don't fray. I mean, it's got a little bit of fray on the end. Oh, I let my glue sit here too long. Run in my mouth. And I'm sure you don't even understand any of the story I've told because I've gone from one direction to the other. But if you go check out my Instagram, you'll see our horse with her little night on the town look. And but she is so much better now. Her bandage only stayed on 1 day. They were hoping it would make it 2, but doctor said it probably wouldn't. So that's that. Now we're going to put some of the little golden sparkles. I got this at Dollar Tree like 2 years ago. They have them at Christmas time. They have like, it's a gold, green, and a red pin. And so I'm just going to go around here and just give it a little extra bling. I held off on the rhinestones, held off on the Nuvo drops or the glitter pen, the lacquer pen, but I'm putting some dots on here just because I said it needed some extra. So that's this little tag all finished, and let's set it over there to dry. And so now we're going to put these in their pockets. So we're going to put this lily cross on here because I thought the little blue and teal and greens, and there's blue in the flowers down here. Oops, I'm in frame. Yep, kind of match with it, and that way they can pull it out and write on the back and put it back in there, and you can still see the song. And then the other one is going to go back here, which is the little angels. And so when I give them their little journal, I'm gonna have a note card in there about they truly, you know, are heaven, little angels here on heaven, because I guess it's been a month now that I've been tinkering with this, trying to get it going in between everything else. They really help me out. I don't do well when we get so-so-ish news on my husband, and I have a hard time going to church, even though that's supposed to be where you go, but I turn into a basket case, and these women have just done their thing. They actually, you know, they show you what church and church family and love is all about. It's truly amazing when someone doesn't come from that to actually experience it firsthand. So we're going to put this in here because I thought it'd be real pretty. It has some of the blue, and it picks up the feed sacks of Gales. And so that's going to be our little tag on there. So we got 2 side tucks done with journal cards and a pocket done with a tag. So 3 down, probably 15 or 20 more to go. Thanks for bearing with me and my rattling. I guess we're just going to have to craft. I'm not going to be able to tell. Maybe I'll just come on and tell a story because that would work better. And I hope you enjoyed it. And then I will be back. I'm going to work on a couple other little things, and we're going to get them in here so I can get them filled up, because today's Thursday and Sunday's around the corner. All right. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed day, and come back. Bye, guys.